Hey everybody, I'm back as promised with a review of a Serbian film. I told you I would watch it last night, which I did, and I would review it today. There are two things I need to preface this review by saying. The first being this, and I'm sorry for all my great followers, this does not pertain to you. However, if you are a troll or someone who's going to come onto my channel or come onto my videos with the sole and purpose and intention of causing drama or just being an ass, I'm just going to be upfront with you right now and put, being the mother here that I am with my children, it's not going to work. I'm just going to block you and I'm not going to have anything to do with you. I have 4 rugrats on a daily basis who try to get under my skin. If they can't achieve that goal, you're never going to be able to. Just letting you know that. The second thing is this review will contain spoilers. However, I'm going to keep them as mild as possible. A Serbian film is extremely complex. There's a lot of betrayal. There's a lot of, it's more than a violent film. It's more than a disturbing film. There is a complex plot, and as it is revealed, it's something that you don't want to have spoiled. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you a small bit about the film that won't spoil it. I will have a few mild spoilers, but there's spoilers that are already out there, and I'll warn you before they come. Essentially, the movie is about a character named Milos. He's a married man with a wife and a young son. He's trying to do the best that he can for his family, but he's fallen on hard financial times. He doesn't know what he's going to do. The money he has stashed away is slowly dwindling into nothing, and they just don't have a whole lot of money. Help comes in the form of a colleague who approaches him one day and tells him that there's a job coming, and that if he's a part of it, it will set his family for life. He then goes back to his wife. He discusses it with her, and he agrees that he's going to meet the director. Now, it should be stated that this beginning of the film, for some people, seemed to move slowly. My husband especially disliked it. However, for me, I found that it was very important. I found it was important to watch Milos and his interaction with his family. They're a very loving family. He cares very much for his wife and for his child, and he would do anything to keep them safe and to protect them. I felt that this really added to the film, especially as things progress and horrible things transpire. So Milos eventually goes. He meets with the director. The director doesn't want to tell him anything that the film is about. In his accompaniment is the person that met him for lunch, his colleague. He sees a number. The number tells him what the job, how much money he will make for the job. He agrees to take the job, and again, he goes back to his wife, tells her that he's going to take it, even though he's not aware of what it is because the director won't tell him anything. He then goes and to the first day of filming. An earpiece is put into his ear. He is walking down a hall. It's an orphanage. He sees cameramen following him as he goes. He's got the earpiece, people telling him just to act natural. As he walks, he sees a woman in a pink dress. She looks like either a nurse or a teacher. She waves him forward. He comes forward. It's then, as she's guiding him, that he sees a young girl, 13 or 14 years old, seated on a set of stairs. As she looks at him and smiles, he uncomfortably smiles back because he doesn't know what is going on. It's then that this woman approaches the girl's mother. She yanks her off the stairs, starts calling her horrible names, and slaps her. Milos, of course, is stunned. He doesn't know what's going on. It's then that the woman that approached him when he first entered the building takes him into a room, gets down on her knees, unbuckles his pants, and begins stimulating him orally. As he looks up, the television screens in front of him come on, and you see the same young girl that was seated on the stairs, dressed entirely different. And in one screen, she's putting on makeup and messing with her face, and on the other one, she's sucking on a popsicle provocatively. It makes him very uncomfortable. He tries to climax as quickly as possible. Once he does, he leaves, and he's freaked out. Even with this that has happened, he decides he's going to go back the second day. This time when he goes back, he is nude. He walks into a room. He sees a man beating the tar out of a woman. It turns out the woman is the same woman that was the mother of the young girl that he met previously. The woman crawls over to him, unbuckles his pants, and begins stimulating him orally. When he looks over and seated in a chair is the 13-year-old girl. Of course, this freaks him out. He tries to pull the woman off of him. At this point, the woman bites his penis, and one of the guards, because they have guards as they're filming, puts a hand around his throat and says, "Hit her, hit her, hit her." Left with no other option, he does hit her twice until she lets go. Of course, she begins stimulating him with her hand. As soon as he climaxes and pulls his pants up, the director comes in saying, "Bravo, bravo." Milos decks the guard that had grabbed him by the neck. He says, "I'm not having anything to do with this," and he goes to leave. The director tries to stop him. He leads him into his office. He starts talking to him about porn, about art, and about how people don't see the bigger picture. And it's then, and here comes a spoiler, If you don't want to know, stop right now. Do not proceed, please. It's then that he takes him into a room, begins talking about things, gives him a drink, and he pulls down a projection screen. And on the projection screen, you see a woman who's in the grips of labor. A man takes off his coat. He's in a wife beater and underwear. He assists her as she gives birth. The minute that the baby is born, he picks the baby up, slaps it on the bottom, and then he proceeds to have sex with the baby. Now, many people have talked about this scene, and this was the scene, I'm going to confess, that made me very wary of watching this movie. However, sometimes the things that you see in your head are far, far, far worse than what you see on a screen, and thank God that was the case with this scene. I'm not saying the scene was easy to watch, because it's not, and it's horrific, and it's violent, and it's disgusting and disturbing. However, in my mind, because I had heard so much about it, I had built it up to be something that, thank God, it was not. It's not to say that it's not horrible, it is, but I was actually quite relieved, because I thought it was going to be far, far worse. At this point, Milos says he's had enough. He goes to leave, but unfortunately what he doesn't know is his drink was drugged. He gets into his car, he drives home, but on the way he notices he has a massive erection that won't go away, and it's almost as if he begins to hallucinate. A prostitute approaches his car. At this point, he's a sex-crazed animal. He allows her to drive him in the car, and then the next thing you know, he wakes up, he looks at his clock, and days have passed. He doesn't know what in the world has gone on, and from this point forward, it's him piecing together the lost time and everything that has happened to him in those days. And I'm not going to say much more than that. The plot is complex. As I stated, there is betrayal, although I cannot mention what that is because it will ruin the movie. Is it a violent film? Absolutely. It's a very violent film. Is it disturbing? Yes, it is. It is exactly what people warn you about. However, I think the one thing that people need to be aware of is that it's more than just your average extreme film. It's a film that actually has a plot with characters that you care about. And as these horrible events unfold, your heart absolutely breaks for Milos and his family. I mean, it's so ultimately tragic and horrible and just, yes, disturbing. But, it's more than just a disgusting slasher. Oh, you're sick, you're twisted if you watch it. I should state that my husband found it stupid. He wasn't at all bothered by it. He was very bored by it, and he didn't like the movie at all. And it wasn't because of the sick elements. His thing was nothing like that would ever happen. He's a realist. He dissects everything. And as I said, he fell asleep a couple of times. He thought the beginning was boring. But as for me, I did enjoy the film. I'm glad that I watched the film. I can see why some people would be afraid to watch the film. And before anybody comes trolling along and says, oh, you like watching babies get raped or anything like that, listen, okay? I watched A Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 7 years old. It was that at that age that I was introduced to the fact that movies aren't real. I can disassociate myself from scenes on a film knowing that they're not real and walk away from them. I'm not into watching beheading videos, although God help me, I've seen a couple of them. But trust me when I say no, that I'm not into that kind of thing. But that kind of thing is what shows just how depraved and demented this director is and to what lengths he'll go to create porn unlike any other you've ever seen. So there you go. I'm going to go into my ratings. I don't want to go over 10 minutes on this. For a Serbian film, the sexuality is definitely a 5. He's a porn star. Sex happens, and a lot of it. The violence in the film, I'm going to go ahead and be on the safe side of this because there's some violence in it. I'm going to give that a 5 too. The gore wasn't all that much for me, to be quite honest with you. I mean, there's one scene that's pretty gory involving a machete, and other scenes toward the end. I'm just going to be safe, however, and I'm going to give it a 4.5. And my overall enjoyment of the film, believe it or not, is a 4. When I got to the ending of the film and the big twist was revealed, my heart absolutely sank, and not only did it break for Milos, but it broke for his entire family. And that's all I'm going to say. So if you're into extreme films, definitely check out a Serbian film. If you're not, I would highly suggest that you probably just stay far, far away from it because you're not going to like it. I'm sorry, my child's coming in here. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. But to wrap things up, if you're an extreme horror fan, if you like extreme movies, I would definitely check a Serbian film out. However, if you're not, I would probably suggest that you just avoid the film altogether. It's probably not going to be something that that interests you at all. So I'm going to go before my children go absolutely crazy. They're going to be here for the next 2 weeks, so you're not going to see much of me. But I appreciate all your support. I appreciate all of your comments. I'm still keeping names in the bag. Keep them coming. I'll keep adding them. The contest ends December the 24th, so make sure you get your entries in before then. And so until the next time that I have a chance to do a video or to comment, I will talk to you all soon. And I hope that you have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye.